most important thing, Fleek, is you got to be yourself. Everyone's going to say, well, you should really write songs like this person or that person. Or have you seen the trends kind of veering off into this? If you go chasing trends, you're going to end up, like the kids like to say, totally SOL. You got to go to the deepest, darkest chasms of your soul, man. Expunge your guts for human display and realize you're a public figure.
All right, perfect. All right, hey Andy, welcome to SongLab Live. My name is Fleek. I also go by Ruben. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Fleek. Many thanks for inviting me to be your guest.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for reaching out and offering to have a chat with us here. I like to start with what I call the superhero origin story of where you come from and who you are, and then get into some questions here that I have about you and what you do.
Well, I was very blessed to be born in the year of our Lord, 1961. And my first coherent memory was my older sister coming into my bedroom on a cold, snowy February Sunday night. She's 12, Fleek, so I could see the incredible excitement in her eyes, and she grabs me by the arm and she says, come on, we're going to go watch Beatles on TV. Now, I'm just a little kid. I figured it was going to be some kind of insect show or National Geographic, and it's all kinds of creepy crawling bugs. But no, it was a happening. I remember going to the room where the little black and white TV was. And on one side of me is my sister, and on the other side is my brother. And Ed Sullivan, he twirls his arm around and says, "The Beatles!" And we saw all the young girls screaming like they're completely on chemical extractions in the theater. And my sister, she's whirling around like a whirling dervish. And I look over at my brother, and his jaws hit the floor. And I couldn't really comprehend what was happening. But what I remember the most was turning around and looking at my parents on the couch. They couldn't, they were aghast, Fleek. They were just like, we can't be showing our children this kind of rubbish, this kind of sonic trash. I mean, no one had really ever seen anything like that before in human history. But I think I got the music bug right then and there. And then throughout the 60s and 70s, I was the kid going to the local store and for 99 cents buying the 45 RPMs, whether it was the Doors' Light My Fire or the Beach Boys or Tommy Rowe Dizzy. And then, of course, the 70s was the era of the hi-fi system, where you had the receiver, and you had the 8-track tape player, and you had the turntable, and it was all about just absorbing all the music you possibly could. And of course, in the late 70s, bands like the Talking Heads made it okay for suburban nerds like Andy to make music too. So I went to the local music store and I said, hey, I'd like to buy a left-handed bass guitar. And the guy behind the counter kind of looked at me funny. He's like, who do you think you are, Paul McCartney? And I didn't quite understand what he was saying because I threw left and I batted left and I wrote left. And finally he just said, I'm just busting your chops. We don't have any left-handed basses. So I didn't even hesitate. I said, well, let's look at right-handed basses. And that was the
Mhm.
beginning. Played my first rock and roll show in 1980. We lived it, breathed it, sweat it, bled it for 20 years, Fleek. And in
Wow.
the year 2000, at the age of 39, I realized I'd either need to reinvent myself or,
Mhm.
I don't know, go sell appliances at Best Buy. And so, I don't know, the tip, someone I trusted, he said, "Andy, not for nothing, you know this new thing, the World Wide Web?" I said, "Yeah, I
Mhm.
got mail." He says, "It's only gonna be a matter of time before the entire human family will be able to
Yeah.
watch music videos on their computer."
Yes.
And he was right.
He was right.
And it's funny, you was talking the computer, we weren't even thinking about the iPad or
Mhm.
the, phone, uh, so it was the one time in my musical journey where I was at the right place at the right time. They say timing is everything. Hell, if I had been a wild cat oil prospector in the 80s and 90s, every single oil well I dug came up a dud. So I was convinced in October of 2000 that the big guy upstairs was giving me one last chance not to mess things up. And
Mhm.
I just strapped rockets on my wagon and I went for it. And here we are 24 and a half years later. And I am the
Yeah.
poster child for if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life.
I love that. I love that. It's fantastic. So my first question is, what are some key elements that make a music video an effective marketing tool, especially in today's music climate?
Well, at Hip Video Promo, we've had the great pleasure and privilege of promoting over 4,800 music videos. And of course,
Mhm.
every video is different and every video will tell a story, but the truth has a certain ring to it. Your
Mhm.
music video as an artist, a songwriter, a rapper, a rock band, it
Mhm.
is the cornerstone of your identity. It is your most potent and powerful piece of marketing currency. Have you noticed, Fleek, the entire music loving public? They now listen with their eyes.
Yeah.
So, to disparage and or underestimate the power of a music video, especially in the world where these jackass music marketing people will try to tell you that don't waste your money on a sorry ass music video. It's all about short form content. And yes, I can appreciate it is about short form content, but the music video ain't going away. And the music video can land you on iconic brands like MTV, BET, CMT, Volt,
Mhm.
Music Choice. I mean, once you're able to attach your musical brand to those kinds of international brands, it's a huge game changer. Because at all
Mhm.
of these potential exposure opportunities, they are highly curated. And they're not
Yeah.
going to program a video that looks shoddy or called in or was done in a half-assed kind of way. They're looking for exciting new talent. Hell, we've been on the ground floor with 30 Seconds to Mars, Def Cab for Cutie, Maroon 5, Paramore, Sia, the Lumineers. I mean, Justina Valentine, our Jersey friend here,
Yeah.
uh, she came to me in 2013 and she was getting razzed. She was being told that she was in the wrong musical lane. She was being
Mhm.
told to pick up her marbles and go home. And what's more
Yeah.
is when you Googled her, you see 1-800 flowers, chocolate covered strawberries, pictures of happy loving couples. Heck, now because of her just talk about doing the grind, and she's been doing it a dozen years. All you have to
Yeah.
do is Google Justina, and there she pops up, that beautiful redheaded Garden State lovely.
Yeah. You kinda touched on this a little bit. What are some common mistakes that independent artists make when planning their music video, especially the releases, and how can they avoid them?
Well, videographers are like lots of people in this music industry. They do have a propensity to be the all talk, no walk
Mm,
type. They want your money.
mm,
And up front, they will purport themselves to being that kind of videographer that will realize your vision and
mm.
will work closely with you to provide you the visual content that's really going to move the needle. Have you noticed, Fleek, that once sometimes these people in this industry get the money, things change? And
Yeah.
you're you really have to do due diligence. You have to ask
Yeah.
videographer, who have you worked with? Can you show me some of your videos? I need referrals. If any of those
Mhm.
3 requests get a humana, 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 move on, move on.
Yeah.
Don't waste your
Yeah.
time with the novices or the, uh, just beginning and, "Yeah, I kinda know how to use the camera." Yeah,
Mm.
it's your music video. If you have to invest a little bit more to get great content, then save up your money, invest a little
Yeah.
more. Another thing you don't wanna
Yeah.
do is maybe if you're a big international pop phenomenon, you can do it. Get right to the music. Don't do a
Mm.
35-second opening with no music. I mean,
Yeah.
no one's gonna stick around for the music. It's like Tom Petty
Mhm.
once famously said, "Don't bore us, get to the chorus." So, don't
Yeah.
get cutesy. Plan your
Mm.
videos so that you're getting to your song right from the get-go. And
Yeah.
release date. Don't just say, "Hey, I'm gonna put the video up on YouTube." Find someone who can assist you with the marketing. Make sure you have
Mhm.
a great story, a great pitch, a great one sheet, great press release. Do a lot of upfront promotion and marketing. Hey, everybody, my new music video is going to premiere next Tuesday, March 25th on the Hype magazine. You have to create excitement. And on the
Yeah.
day of the premiere, it's like hitting the beaches at Normandy. You have to be ready to do battle. And the night before, you're
Yeah.
reaching out to all your friends and your family and the people who are in the video. It's time to play
Mhm.
those chips that you've been saving up in your back pocket. And yes,
Mhm.
you are humble and you don't ask for a whole lot, but this is the time you want to do it. Hey, everyone, all I need you to do is go
Yeah.
comment the video. Don't ask them to do 5, 6, 7, 8 things. Just say, "Go comment on the video." And if they're friends and
Yeah.
family, they're gonna trash you, and no doubt they're gonna like it at the same time, and there's a very good
Mhm.
possibility that they will subscribe, and then probably go follow you on your other social media platforms.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. I always say that you want to tap into your community and build a community that people can tap into. So your project is the beginning of that. If you shoot a video and it has about 10 people that are working with it, that's a community of people, and all of them should be the first like and comment there. Um, how has music video promotion evolved over the last 25 years, and what trends should artists be aware now in 2025?
I'll tell you a great story, Fleek. In 2003, we were just starting out. And gosh knows, whenever you start out a new entrepreneurial endeavor, you need clients. But how do you get clients if nobody's going to hire you? And you get the question, it's like, well, who have you worked with? Well, how can you have anyone to share with potential clients who you've worked with if you haven't worked with anyone of note? So it
Yeah.
was early 2003. Now remember, Fleek, this was phone call era. Hi, it's Andy from Hip Video Promo. Hi, yes, I know Retta's gonna be coming back from vacation next week. No worries. I just wanted to call and let her know that we're totally keen to work with you and all the great artists at Lost Highway. And you
Mhm.
would make friends with the gatekeepers, the people who answered the phone. And sure enough, the call came in. It was Retta. She said, you know, Andy, we've got this video. We don't know what to do with it. So I asked, well,
Mhm.
who's the artist? And they said, well, it's Johnny Cash. My jaw hit the floor. Wow. Johnny Cash, the legendary man in black, the most iconic American musical figure of our lifetime. And I was trying to hold in my excitement because I could tell that there were some issues. She said, the problem with the video, Andy, is in the video, it looks like he's about ready to shift off this mortal coil. I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh god, what does this mean?" And then she said, "And it's not normal Johnny Cash musical repertoire. It is a 9-inch nails cover."
Oh, wow.
So I said, "Well, we're really keen to see the music video." And Fleek, she said, "No worries. Let me pop a VHS in overnight mail. You'll get it tomorrow morning." That was 2003. It was also Andy looking like Santa Claus going to the post office. Why? Because many of the programmers were getting 3/4 inch tapes.
Mhm.
3/4 inch tapes. That's what television used to use back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And if it wasn't a 3/4 inch tape, it was a Beta SP. Not as big as a 3/4 inch tape, but still
Yeah.
big. And then you had people who were getting DV cams, the little DV cams. So
Mhm.
you were literally sending the music videos via the mail to the decision makers, gatekeepers. And we're pitching to television. Certainly, we're pitching to the content providers. Because even 25 years ago, whether you went to a Macy's or you were shopping for sneakers at Foot Locker, or you
Mhm.
were at Journeys or Hot Topic, or perhaps you were at a nightclub, or you were on a cruise ship, they would be programming music videos. So,
Yeah.
the key to this business is to stay ahead of the trends. So, I go back to my friend saying it's only gonna be a matter of time before the entire music loving public will be able to watch music videos on their computer. And the minute
Mhm.
they started popping up, we were reaching out. Hello, Pitchfork. Hello, Stereo Gum. Hello,
Mhm.
Fader. Uh, in other words, we wanted to make it clear to everybody that if they were looking for great visual content, let us be your curators. Because Fleek, I've never been a shit merchant. If someone sends a video and it's not too good, I
Yeah.
got right. I gotta do right because I'm a creative too. We all know that if I was a shit merchant and I just took the person's money and I promoted their crappy ass crap video, number one, it wouldn't help the
Mhm.
artist. Because then when
Mhm.
the decision maker gets a second video from the artist, they're not even gonna look at it because they're gonna remember the piece of crap they just got. What's more
Mhm.
is promoting shoddy, not very good music videos What does that say about hip video promo?
Yeah, yeah, the quality is key.
So we always held out for the good stuff. And as we
Mhm,
started to earn the
mhm,
trust of these decision makers, gatekeepers, then when we were coming with artists that were brand new, he would say things to me like, Andy, how is it that whether it's Eagles of Death Metal or the Shins or Flyleaf or all these,
mhm.
why do I always see them on the late night shows like 7, 8 months later? How are you able to pick these artists before everybody else catches on? What do you even say to that question? You're just humbled. It's like,
Mhm.
I mean, I've been in this world for so long.
Yeah,
It's leak. You hear something and you think to yourself, man, if I am having this kind of immediate impact, and here I am immediately listening to this song again and
mhm.
realizing that this is an instant earworm, don't you think other people are going to do the same thing?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. What role does YouTube playlist pitching play in the success of a release strategy? And then how do you approach it with your hip video promo?
You want to know that the person that is pitching to you isn't
Mhm.
just someone out of left field, artists you've never heard of. By, as I said, holding out for really quality product, the
Yeah.
playlist curators, boy, do they love it when you send them stuff they like. But man, they are so funny when you send something that doesn't quite fit their filter. You get the email or the call. It's like, didn't I tell you I'm not going to play any of that EDM stuff? Why are you saying? So, oh man, my apologies. But you have probably seen it, Fleek. It's a band you know, and they released the video 9 days ago, and you go to check it out. You've been busy, so
Mhm.
you see that the video has 39,000 views. You're like, wow, man, looks like people are really loving this. But then something catches your eye. There's only 12 likes and one comment. What
Yeah.
does that emote? Thereby,
Bots.
they're people all this trouble to be genuine and authentic, and you're gonna try to
Mhm.
pull the wool over the public's eye by buying fake views?
Mm, yeah,
Not a good look.
yeah. Not a good look, and not a good strategy, as I think things now are more geared towards engagement than views. It's more of the people that are interacting with you and your art than how many. Um, yeah, that's profound. With the rise of social media though, and like short form content, how should artists like balance the traditional, well, I guess you call it traditional, but like making music videos with platforms like TikTok versus doing like Insta Reels or TikTok Reels and things? How should they balance that?
You know how TV shows, they'll take the best snippets of the program and they'll make the, little, like, 15-second teasers in the days leading up? Um,
Yeah,
you'll always have to have those teasers and that short form content because
yeah,
all the things you're posting on your platforms, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, or you're putting it up on your Facebook or your Threads or your X, it's all a call to action. And you don't even really have to spell it out. You just have to say, "Hey, new video's coming next Tuesday, March 25th on the Hype magazine." And if you're putting up just a snippet of the music video, you're teasing them. Like,
Yeah.
"Well, damn, that looks pretty good."
Yeah. Yeah. Good advice. Great advice. As we get ready to close out here, what advice do you have to artists that are just now joining the industry, getting in the industry? Maybe they haven't shot a music video yet, or they're looking to do maybe their first one. What advice would you have for brand new artists and creatives?
Strap your seatbelt on and get ready to have all of your greatest hopes and dreams dashed. When my dad put out our first record in 1985, Fleek, I was so sure I was gonna get out of my awful day job and go on the road, and it didn't happen. And you get
Mhm.
really down, and you get down on yourself, and you actually personalize it. And it's not that it's you. I mean, from our first record, we probably were able to secure about 100 true super fans, and we had it going on here in the Great Garden State. But I wanted to be a rock star, man. What the hell? I mean, and let's face it, for a lot of these up and coming artists, if it's dressed in overalls and it
Mhm.
looks like work, yeah, they're not gonna do it. So, you really have to get ready. You have failure to plan is like planning to fail. So, just like anything else, what do? You save up your money, you hire someone who you can trust that's been in the marketing world. Because if it's 20% this great song you've written and 20% this awesome music video you've shot, Fleek, wouldn't you agree it's probably 80% the marketing you implement?
Yes,
You
absolutely.
agree?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Let people.
Just the most important thing, Fleek, is you gotta be yourself. Everyone's gonna say, "Well, you should really write songs like this person or that person." Or have you seen the trends kind of veering off into this if you go chasing trends, you're gonna end up like the kids like to say, totally SOL. You
Yeah.
gotta go to the deepest, darkest chasms of your soul, man. Expunge your guts for human display and realize you're a public figure. So if you think people are just gonna like your music because your music's so great, forget about it, their sport. You are a public figure. You are your story. People are gonna
Mhm.
wanna know you. And chances are, if they kind of like your music, but then they go and check you out and they really like you, for
Mhm.
whatever reason, you've got a fan. And if that fan is and you're consistent and you turn them into a super fan, you and I both know, Fleek, it's the super fans. They tell everyone they know because
Yep.
they're the music person in their little circle of friends. They tell everyone they know. And all of a sudden, and all it takes is 1,000 super fans these days to
Yeah.
have it
For
going.
real. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great advice. Thank you. Can you let us know how we can find you on the interwebs here, and if we need to get in contact with you, and you know how we can reach out to you?
Sure. Well, I have always been a huge fan of the conversation. Now,
Mhm.
this might sound completely foreign to a lot of your fans and
Yeah.
viewers and listeners, but you can call me. I get it. A lot of these marketing companies, not only do you not speak to the person in charge,
Mhm.
you don't speak to anyone. But just think, it's like I heard this guy and I wrote down the number. I think it's a New Jersey number. Uh, uh, hell, I'll give him a call because I got this video I'm making. My consultation is always free. What I'm looking for is more feathers in my United States Marine Corps utility cap. I get totally off on being in on the ground floor and being able to squawk to everyone that I was 13 years ago hanging out with the Lumineers at South by Southwest. And it's March. So they're just like another band at South by Southwest. But by the
Mhm.
summer, all of a sudden, this like crazy ass song is just taking off all over. I mean, talk about an immediate earworm. And I remember in March and April that year, I programs said, "Well, Andy, we really don't play novelty songs." I'm like, "Really? Ho Hey is a novelty?" Yeah, it's kind of weird, hokey, and cheesy, and the video looks like it was like made for like 3,500 bucks. Doesn't matter because great music will always find an audience. By
Yeah.
September, you could not escape that song. It was everywhere.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
omnipresent. And out of the blue, the band gets a nomination at the Grammys for
Mhm.
Best New Band. Now,
Oh, wow.
results may vary. That doesn't always happen. But
Yeah.
here's an example where it does. But they did a lot of planning, they set things up, and they realized even in 2013 to have that online presence where you're able to put your inhibitions on the back burner and don't be afraid to show people the real you, the
Mhm.
passionate you, the Philadelphia Eagles fan you, the loves to plant bulbs in the fall and watch them come up in the spring dude, or the Glenn Campbell fan dude. There's so many ways to make a connection with other music loving people, but
Mhm.
you got to step up, man. It's your time to shine because you got to be doing
Yeah.
the things your less talented, much more lazy competition aren't doing.
Yes. Amazing. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna have all your contact information in the description of our conversation here, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
732-613-1779, hipvideopromo.com, and it's at hipvideopromo on our socials and at hipvideo on YouTube.
Awesome. And I have it all linked down here below.
I appreciate it, Fleek. How's the weather in Phoenix?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's everyone's here right now. Everyone's golfing.
I
It's really nice.
I get it. 4 or 5 months from now, it'll be 106.
It'll be miserable. It'll be miserable in about 2.5 months. It'll be pretty bad. And all of our snowbirds will leave, and it'll just be a really hot, gloomy desert. So, and then it'll be beautiful again in 6 months from there. So,
Well,
yeah.
I am very thankful you've invited me to be your guest. Thank you very much, and continued success. You guys have been growing so strong. It's very inspiring because you're giving voice to the voiceless, people who need this kind of wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And one thing that stuck out about your story that I tell artists is that there's 1,000 jobs in the industry and you can learn different skills. So, you may not be the next Maroon 5 because statistically it's very hard to be that, but there are lots of other skills you can do and jobs you can learn. So,
If you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. And I'm so blessed. I mean, I just sit on this couch and I talk to people all over the world who need help because the marketing part is the tough part.
yes, yes, it is. Yep.
And
Well, my lighter's
hope you do it.
yeah, yeah. Thanks. All right. Well, thank you.